Shout out, family. Hold on. Shout out, family. Shout out, family. My phone probably gonna die, but I want to get on here real quick. I see a lot of people doing videos this morning. Got live streams or whatever, man. But all I got to say, man, is miss me with the boot licking. Miss me with the boot licking. Um, that's I just miss me with the boot licking. Some people in my comments, talking about I'm supposed to be grateful and all this bootlicking shit. Nah, bro, miss me with that. Hey, you can have your movement. You can have your movement. Hey, I can ask questions. I mean, it's a fucking free country. Excuse me, I'm cursing. Sorry, Dad. But it's a free country. That is that's one of the. It's like, why can't I have an opinion? Why can't I have an opinion? Why can I have an opinion? You're real vocal about your opinions about like my people. You're really vocal about that. You got all kinds of opinions about Nigerians and Africans and all kinds of stuff. And you know what? I mean, it's not in me. It's really not in me. Maybe it's the non-descendant of a Haitian. You know what I'm saying, or slavery blood. Maybe the revolutionary blood is still in me, and I don't bootlick. You know what I'm saying. I don't get on my knees and beg. You know what I'm saying. That's not within me. You know what? That's probably why I was really attracted, to the Pan African or the pro Black movement, and it's all about progression and being, and really, absorbing and embracing, the strength, that comes from our bloodline, our culture, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what brought me to that. But what I see is some beta techniques that's being used. And you know what? I watched a video the other day, and it was this one African brother that was debating Tariq Nasheed, and what's funny. I like Tariq Nasheed. He has great content or whatever, but it's just like in anything in life, you can't agree with everything somebody says. You know what I'm saying? Hey, people just bleed just like us. Everybody just human just like us. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in false prophets or anything like that. That to be said, but the dude had him on the ropes on a couple things. They were talking about tribalism, and how tribalism is an inherently kind of like an African thing. But they were just talking about tribalism, and he was making some great points about how um, when you throw colonialism into to different things, it kind of messes things up. You know what I'm saying? It's the traditional tribalism that Africans usually go by. When you throw colonialism into it, it messes everything up. It messes everything up. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But you know what? I'm gonna fast forward on that. And you know what? You can tell that the brother had him on the ropes. The brother had him on the ropes, and it was a pro ADOS movement room. So all the minions on the side, they had to kind of like ride for what's the name, which is cool. But what was funny about it, he had him on the ropes, and I was like sitting there thinking, and he makes these points. He makes these points. His minions follow him. They all that, and then I was like, okay, you just open up a can of worms, I guess. And I was like sitting there thinking to myself, okay, what about gang culture, in particular in America? Isn't that a form of tribalism? Isn't it? Isn't a form of tribalism? You know, and the thing is his argument is like, you brought tribalism over here. This is a Nigerian brother, dog. It is. I mean, there was too much to talk about, and then he also had him on the ropes, and he was using the whole. He learned a lot, from the white supremacists like Fox News people. the Tucker Carlson people. You come up with these little, basically these fake narratives to kind of like gain control of the conversation. You go back. It's like you no 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 tell like you cut them off. No 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 no. You tell me this some bullshit, and then he was like okay. He was like, and then he kind of used the same tactic. He was like, well, tell me one thing, you know, that these Africans and these Haitians and stuff like that, these tangible benefits and these tangible resources that you guys talk about through the APOS movement that Africans, Haitians, Grenadans, and stuff like that were getting that propped them to the top. Name, I was just like, because, and the brother brought up, he's like, well, you know what? When I went to college, he went to college, he still had student loans that he got to pay back. Student loans that he got to pay back. You know what? It's crazy. Is the conversation a couple years ago went from, the Koreans and all kinds of people that were being propped up in front of, African Americans, through business loans and businesses and blah blah blah. All these type of things, which is true. Which is true. I'm not arguing. And then all of a sudden, it became us. You know what I'm saying? It became us. It's the black immigrants. You know what? And I gotta keep reiterating this because I don't know if I almost feel like when you have these type of institutions like the NAACP or something that's like in that same vein, the NAACP, the HBCUs, um, something that kind of reeks, reparations or some type of exclusivity to to African American community. It almost, it's like a trick bag. It's like a trick bag, and this almost feels like it too because some of the rhetoric that gets brought out, it's and then if you say anything about it, it's you're anti-black, you're this or you're stepping in the way, and you know what, and it's becoming more and more and more and more clear. I admit when I first started doing videos and stuff like that, I didn't really know too much about the movement. And when I started hearing the rhetoric, and then you saw that guy Tone Talks comes out. Tone Talk come out and he says something about him and Yvette Carnell. Yvette Carnell, I don't know who she is too much. I mean, I saw that she has a video. I think she's a educated sister, and my antennas came up a little bit. Because, and I can't substantiate this, but allegedly she's a feminist, a lesbian feminist. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but and she's also supposedly, allegedly, and I don't know her too much. I just know her from going back and forth with Dr. Boyce Watkins and putting him on blast or whatever. I know she's a feminist. That's what I heard. I mean, if anybody in the comments know any better, they can prove me wrong or whatever. If I'm wrong, but I thought she was a lesbian feminist. And the reason I brought that part up, a lot of these guys just a week ago that wasn't that was claiming to be melanoid and we were kings and queens and all kinds of stuff before they saying they submitted and busted wide open, put their ass cheeks up for massa, for massa, whatever, drape themselves in the American flag. They were talking about they used to have a thing about the feminist agenda the lesbian agenda. You know what I'm saying? You know, and especially a lesbian feminist that's married to a white woman. You were just fighting against those type of people all, and you know what? I don't care what you try to do, how you try to discredit me for saying this. Hey, the evidence is there. About a week ago, you were, you know, these type of people with this type of ideology was kind of almost anti-black. You know, they were the enemy. They were hijacking the movements, you know, or making it, you know, about feminism or intersexuality or, you know, all those type of things. And then all of a sudden, one of the faces of your so-called movement, Frankie, get out of there. Frankie. Anyways, I can't even do these videos anymore because this guy. What are you getting into? Oh my god. What you getting into? Anyways, I got to go back and do this video at a different time. Again, if you guys watch my videos, man, you know my son. This guy, Daddy, what's wrong with you, man? I told you not to go in there, and you go back in there again. Hey, boy, get over here, man. But I guess when you